Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Understanding life through meditation. This was the theme we have been studying for last 7 days, and in this concluding session let us again re-evaluate our understanding, application and experience. If you remember, on the first day, first talk, I mentioned that when we talk of life, life has to be thought of in its entirety, in its completeness, not only a part. Suppose somebody wants to say serve me, and if that service means physically pressing my body, or somebody thinks service means feeding me, and that is all, so it will be incomplete. In the same manner, when we think about our life in its entirety, there is nothing like material life, there is nothing like spiritual life. There is nothing like meditation sitting in one place and rest of the time frustration. No. Life has to be taken in its entirety, completeness. And therefore, the first thing that we have to take into consideration about our life is our interaction with the world. Yasmanodviyate lokaha lokanodviyate chayaha harsha marsha bhayodvegaihi muktaha yasachame priyaha. When we are dealing with the world, what is important is that we do not react. The moment we start reacting, we are conditioned by the gross space. See, today's meditation thought, I got it last evening. When I was driving back from a place, on the way itself, I started getting as if sucked inside. Impossible even to see, open eyes or talk like that. So after I came, I finished bath and again I sat. And there what I spoke to you today, I could get it then. This is the journey through the three spaces, meditation. One is the gross space, as we have seen. In the gross space there is gross world, and world is nothing but constant change. So we have to prepare and accept ourselves for all the changes which are going to come on our way. We can't expect that a thing should happen according to what we have decided. It never happens. And when we are not ready, then we break our spiritual stamina and again get disgusted and frustrated in the worldly things. Because spiritual life is not something different from the normal life. See, if we imagine I can drive the car perfectly well only on the football ground and not on the public roads, what is the use of that learning car driving? We have to be able to drive the car everywhere, any condition. In the same manner, our meditation is not limited only on the seat of meditation and sitting in a particular posture for half an hour and suffering silently. That is not meditation. It's a cartoon of meditation. Meditation is not an action to give some results. But meditation is a 24 hours undenied experience of blissful existence. And what is bliss? Bliss is unchanging experience is bliss. All that which can change, in which we can add something, from which we can take away something, is not bliss. And therefore, the first principle about meditation is we have to live in this world and our equipoise should never be destroyed or disturbed by anything. That is what is called as conquering the gross space. Like see, the space is around my fingers, palm. Whether I bring them together into a fist or again expand, this does not have any impact on the space. So if I am one with the gross space, nothing of the gross world will ever disturb me. Living with that understanding and equipoise is consciously practicing meditation 24 hours. Otherwise, what is the use of our spiritual practice and what is the difference? If a child gets disturbed because he doesn't get the chocolate, and if an elderly man gets disturbed because he doesn't get a car, and if a spiritual seeker he gets disturbed because his mala is broken and therefore he cannot do japa, what is the difference? Qualitative zero difference, same thing. See? Like a person who doesn't have the shoes, he feels very hurt and bad. See, the other people have got so many shoes and I don't have. So he is miserable because he doesn't have shoes. The other person is miserable. I am putting on the same shoes, for last 2 years. Other people are buying every year new. Quality is the same, misery. See? In so-called poor countries, people are miserable because they don't have bicycle. They have to walk down the distances. And in America, people are miserable because the gas prices are going high. Misery is the same. Therefore, our interaction with the gross world should be such that we don't get conditioned and disturbed by anything that is happening around us. That is, living in that understanding all the time is meditation. Then the second thing that we saw was regarding the thoughts. This is the most torturous aspect of our experiences in life. The mood of the mind governs our experience, our behavior in this world. When our mood is off, we are off. When our mood is happy, we are happy. No. See, why most of us suffer on the seat of meditation is because of this. If what is happening in the outer world doesn't disturb me, then what is happening in the mind in the form of thoughts will not disturb me. Because practice is the same. See? Facing the gross world is easy. Suppose you don't like somebody and that somebody comes in front of your nose. So close your eyes. You can face it very comfortably. But how will you face your own mind's thoughts? Where will you run away? See? And therefore, when we are thinking about meditation as a way of life, we have to live in this awareness. That how we are overpowered by certain thoughts, how we get totally out of control because of this overpowering nature of the thoughts. And then whatever is the quality of the mind, that becomes our quality. So the mind is disturbed, we are disturbed. The mind is angry, we are angry. The mind is frustrated, we are frustrated. This is because we have developed it by abhyas, by practice. So we have to undo the opposite practice, then only it will be possible. And this undoing our old ways is called as living in awareness. We have to live every moment in awareness. And when we are able to face our mind and the changes in the mind without getting disturbed by any thought, then we attain deep silence. And such a person who is calm within, he cannot have the load of an ego. See? Load of the ego is experience of misery. See, all have must have heard this word 100 times. Sat Chit Ananda. The Lord is existence, consciousness, bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is manifested in the gross experiences with the world. Chit is manifested at the thought level. Ananda, bliss, is manifested at the ego level. See? Therefore, when we merge with the conscious space, Chidakash, there cannot be any trace of ego. And if there is no ego, we will never have an experience of being neglected, feeling sorry, feeling pity on oneself, and feeling miserable. No. Because these are all the signs of a strong, strong ego. That is why, if you remember one more point I told you, we have to learn to be in the absolute present. Now, how do we know we are in the absolute present? We may say, I live in absolute present. But what are the symptoms? Symptoms are, in the absolute presence, the memory do not come to destroy the present moment. In the absolute present, we are all cheerful and happy. In absolute present, we don't go on projecting about the future. And when this happens, in the absolute present, we are naturally silent. To understand that natural silence, which is not disturbed by the sounds, we have to practice this spiritual practice called as observe silence for a day. And when we observe silence for a day, you will see how much our mind reacts. And it is for observing this mind that we are learning, understanding life through meditation. That's why, many people have this notion. Meditation means we are only sitting for some time and doing meditation. Meditation is not an action. Meditation is not only sitting in a particular posture. Meditation is not only going to sleep, because there also there are no thoughts. And therefore, our journey through these three spaces is the ultimate in our thought process. Now what we have seen in last 2 days, what the world is. Urdhvamulam adashakam ashvattam prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavit. This world is a constant changing phenomena, and in this constant changing phenomena, when we are able to perceive, experience the unchanging reality, then alone we have understood the world. See? So in this constant changing world, what is the world therefore? All the names and forms, they are the world. So when the names and form, things and beings, actions and no actions, when everything is suspended, what remains is the world as the reality and not world as an illusion. See? Ornaments are illusions. Gold is real. We pay for the gold. We don't pay for the names and forms. In the same manner, this world of names and forms, it will change. It is bound to change. Only thing we are not aware of that. See? We all remember our childhood, how sweet and chubby and sweetie we were, and now nobody wants to look at us. What is the reason? Because it is a constantly changing phenomena. But we have not experienced that we have changed. We remain the same. So when we live in this awareness, then the changing world will not disturb us. That is why from the changing to the changeless is the journey in meditation. So what will be this journey? From changing to the changeless. Changing is a changeless phenomena. And therefore don't bother about it. See? Then remain in your own being. Every year the summer comes, winter comes, rains come, spring, and everything comes and goes, comes and goes. The space remains untouched. In the same manner, so many things keep on happening around us. But we hold on to this unchanging principle that the reality is. Therefore, first meditation is Yastam Veda Savedavit. He who has experienced the unchanging principle as a support of the changing world, he has known the truth. Such a person, yogarato va bhogarato va. Whether he is sitting in yoga or he is indulging in the world, both of them are equal. Because yoga does not add anything to him and bhoga does not take away anything from him. See how beautiful it is. When we create 12 glasses in the space, so there are 12 glass spaces. Because of the 12 glass spaces, nothing is added to the total space. And when these glasses break away, the loss of the glass space is never a loss to the total space. See? Once we become more and more aware about this and live in that awareness, that is called as living in meditation. That is called as understanding life through meditation. Otherwise, Like, the other day we went to Swamiji, his observation is also the same. We just learn one or two asanas and suddenly start becoming the yoga teacher. We learn something, one or two books, and suddenly start becoming the Ayurveda Acharya. And we go somewhere, attend 5 weekend meditation classes and become the guides of meditation. And then that is also forward so that we can make money out of it. So the spirituality is becoming a kind of a business. And here what spirituality is, get out of this relativity. See? Therefore, friends, it is extremely necessary that we live in this awareness. And to come to this conscious space, we have to first get out of the gross space, mental space, and then we come to the conscious space. So, the influence of the gross world is no more on me. I have understood what the world is. Second, the influence of the worldly themes, experiences, good or bad, that doesn't disturb me. I have conquered the mental space. Such a person will now understand the last theme of the 15th chapter of Gita. So we have seen how from the world we reach the absolute reality. Then we have seen how from the jiva, the soul, we reach the absolute reality. Because the same absolute reality is in the space, in the sun, in the moon, in the fire, in the earth, in the food, in the digestion power, and all our experiences are supported by the same reality. Up to here we have seen in our last talk. Now we go one step further. This one step further is very, very difficult. Because we have to now give up even God. See? This becomes really, really a big challenge. Because when we talk of consciousness, 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 we have created inertness, inertness, inertness. Conscious, animate versus non-conscious, inanimate. Again, the duality is still there. We have not transcended the duality. Therefore, towards the end in 15th chapter, Bhagavan says, Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vedecha prathitaha purushottamaha. Because the absolute is beyond the inert and the consciousness. So all these hours you have been talking about consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. What is to be done? Drop it. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. I thought, I have understood everything now. Everything is consciousness, everything is consciousness. And that also you taking away? Yes. See? Yasmat ksharamati toham. Because I am beyond the inert world of constant change. And aksharadapichottamaha. And I am also beyond the consciousness. See? In the absolute, there is no duality of consciousness versus the inertness. Yo mam evam asammudaha janati purushottamam. He who thus knows me, the absolute reality, which is beyond inertness and consciousness. Means what? Where the experiencer and the experienced duality disappears. And where even the talk is a sin. See? And this silence is not opposed to the sound. See? Yesterday you practiced silence, I imagine. I was not here. You practiced silence, but that silence was opposed to the sound. See? So if we cannot even hold on to the relative silence, can we become capable to receive the absolute silence? See? Even relative silence is a torture for us, isn't it? Because inside there is mind quake, like we have earthquake, mind quake. Because the habit, about everything we have to opine, give opinion, about everything we have a comment, about everything we have got a labeling, about everything we have got evaluation, about everything we have got a suggestion, about everything we can take decisions. This is the habit we have developed. Therefore, when we practice this kind of silence once in a while, because we can't reach directly the absolute, so the teachers tell us, now try this, it will help you. But then our mind says, but why? Why should I? And the very purpose is defeated. See, it is something like this. The teacher was teaching in a school and he taught mathematics. Come on kids, be attentive, I am going to teach you mathematics and then I will give homework. Okay sir. Everybody was attentive. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. 11 plus 11 is equal to 22. 111 plus 111 is 222. 1111 plus 1111 is equal to 2222. Understood? Yes. Now homework. Homework is given 8 plus 7. Second homework. 87 plus 78. Third homework. 139 plus 913. Fourth homework. 1860 plus 6180. And the children went home. Next day came. One student didn't do anything. Why you have not done your homework? Sir, simple homework you have done and difficult you have given us. Because the teacher is an enemy, he is an enemy. Therefore, simple he has taken in the class. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. And for us he has given difficult. See, friends, you trust even a cobra, he may not bite you. You trust even a tiger, he may not bounce on you. But don't trust your mind. That mind has to be totally surrendered. Then only that mind is able to comprehend. See? There was a teacher who had a son and a disciple. And the teacher told both of them. One was a son disciple, other was only a disciple. So he told, construct a 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet tall platform out of the bricks and mud. You construct here, you construct here. Okay? I'll see it tomorrow. So, the teacher constructed, you got it? So, you both of you construct separate and I'll see it tomorrow. Next day the teacher came. Oh, you nonsense, this is not the way. Break it. Again do it. You are not done properly. What is not done properly, that is not said by the teacher. Again second day they do it. Again the teacher comes in. I don't know how dumb you are. And thus he himself breaks it. Third day the same thing happens. Fourth day, when the same thing was going to happen, the son disciple says, you never like anything that we do. You do it yourself. We can't do it. And went away. And the other disciple, he was waiting. No, it is not properly done. Do it again. So again he dismantled in front of the teacher, and again he did. And then the fifth day the teacher said, now it is okay. Now the teacher was not creating a platform. He was creating a seeker. See, we become so gross-minded that as if the teachers are interested in the stones and bricks. No. They are interested in creating a qualified seeker who can receive the divine light. See? One person asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa that, sir, why don't you give this knowledge to all your disciples? They love you so much. He said, I may give, but are they able to receive it? See? And what the teacher does is prepare the student to receive the divine knowledge. That's it. Therefore, friends, Yo mam evam asammudaha, he who is asammuda, he who is free from delusion, he who doesn't have doubt about the world, about himself, about the God, and he who is ready to transcend all the relative experiences. Asammudaha. Evam mam purushottamam vetti. In this manner, he who recognizes himself to be the absolute, where there is no impurity of relativity. Saha buddhiman manusheshu. He is the most intelligent among all the human beings. See, that is the real living in meditation. Therefore, now see how step by step we reach the absolute. First, take your Patanjali Yoga Sutra for example. First, Yama Sadhana, the world is no more disturbing me. Niyam Sadhana, I am not a problem to myself. Asana, I learn to lead a life of peace, undisturbed existence. Pranayam, all my activities are well controlled. Pratyahar, I am able to withdraw without any efforts. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, the mind is no more a tyrant influencing me. He is no more a dacoit disturbing my peace. He is no more a terrorist creating a frustration in me. That kind of mind. And when we thus attain that quality of mind, then that mind can be employed for the study of scriptures, evaluation of our experiences, how we are experiencing everything in this world. The moment we are identified with the gross body, the gross world comes into existence. The more we are identified with the thoughts, happy thoughts, a happy personality is born. Miserable thoughts, a miserable personality is born. So we are constantly being born as a happy or a miserable one. This is called as the ego. And when we are able to disidentify from all the thoughts, then we discover our existence, thought-free existence. Then we come to know waking, dream, sleep and samadhi. These are four thoughts. In waking, the object is separate from the thought of the object. Glass, a thought, a word, and the object separate. We are in waking. In dream, the thought of the object and the object of the thoughts, both are thoughts. In deep sleep, this is not known. So there are no thoughts, there are no objects. But there is one object, absence. So absence becomes the object and the thought of absence becomes the deep sleep. Nothing is there. So I am in deep sleep. In samadhi, there is no thought formation and therefore I am free from the thoughts. But I is still there. Chitta. The memory is still there. And because of the force of the memory, samadhi again breaks. And in this manner, all these four are only at the level of the thoughts. So unless we go beyond this, we are not doing justice to our life. And please remember, friends, one thing, spiritual life is for us to live. Most important thing. One day, one of my friend in USA complained about his son. He took me in his basement. And in the basement, there were all equipment for doing the exercise, the gym equipments. The treadmill was there, and then the weightlifting, and this way, that way, and all that. And his son was like a agarbatti, like a joystick. So he told Swamiji, I have done everything for my son. See, all these equipments I have brought, so that he should do exercises and become a really strong, good man. I said, you have selected wrong equipments. He said, how, Swamiji, how they are wrong? I said, there are new equipments available, wherein along with the equipments you get the people also do exercise. But by those equipments my son will not become healthy. I said, this is what your son expects. He imagines that when dad can do everything, why can't he do my exercise? See, spiritual life is not a gym for others to come and improve the health. Spiritual life is we have to practice this in our life. See, otherwise earlier I was miserable as a bhogi, indulgent. Now I am miserable as a yogi. Why? Nobody comes for my yoga class. Now what I should do? See? Therefore, friends, this meditation as a life, when we live, then you will come to know we don't have to leave anything. We do our jobs, we earn our livelihood, we have our social life, we have self-control, we don't get disgusted, disturbed, and we are able to manage our life cheerfully and happily. That is what is called as understanding life through meditation. So, evam mam yaha asammoodaha purushottamam vetti. He who thus comes to know me as the absolute reality where there is no touch of relativity. See, in that everything finds fulfillment. Nothing to be achieved, nothing to be protected. Thereafter, the life is lived. This silence that we are experiencing, this silence is not opposed to the sounds, the words. At this stage, you are not understanding anything. You are not struggling to understand anything. You are going through that experience of being. This is that. Etad vaitad. Kathopanishad, Yamaraj tells his disciple Nachiket. This is that. Which does not increase because of the silence, which does not decrease because of the sounds. That which cannot be improved upon, that which cannot be destroyed. So the whole phenomena of life is like this. Now I am summarizing everything as a last thought, and there is nothing to understand in this. There is nothing to ask questions how and why. It is like that. Like fire is hot. Now what is there to discuss? I don't believe. Jump. Nothing to discuss. So, the absolute reality, one without a second. So when it is said absolute reality, one without a second, means what? There is no cause and therefore there is no effect. This is the natural state of being. Even state is a wrong word. This is being. Causeless existence. To call it as an existence is also an abuse. But because we have to use the language, we call it as existence. Now this causeless existence has its own original divine potentiality, called as the potentiality or the Shakti. Whether you call that Shakti as Radha with reference to Krishna, or called Sita with reference to Rama, or you call Parvati or Gauri or Shakti with reference to Shiva, it is one and the same. So, this absolute has its own potentiality, and this potentiality has nothing else to act upon, because in the absolute there is nothing else. But the potentiality is the one which wants to express. Now it's a riddle. See? The burning power of the fire cannot burn the fire. Like the sugar cane never suffers from diabetes. Like the cobra is never suffering from the poison. See? Because that is their nature. So, this divine potentiality has nothing else to act upon, and yet it will act upon only what is available. So, the same immutable, unchanging, homogeneous existence starts appearing as if it has become many. See? Water has its inner potentiality to exist as ocean, and as a ocean to express as waves. Now this potentiality of the water in the glass is unable to have that expression like that of a ocean because of the size. But in the ocean, other than the water, there is nothing. So where will that potentiality will express? It will act only on the water. And then we say the ocean is deep. Then we say the waves are terrible. So we may call ocean and the waves, but we are talking essentially about water. See, when we jump, we may say, I jump into the ocean, but we are jumping only in the water. We may say that I am surfing on the waves, but we are surfing only on the waters. In the same manner, this absolute reality has its own potentiality, and this potentiality expresses in two ways. One is the matter is created, and second thing, the conscious principle. Now the consciousness and matter separately have no problem. But when the consciousness expresses through the matter, it expresses as the mind. And when the consciousness expresses through the body as the mind, the life is manifested. And in this life, there are joys and sorrows. There is I versus you. And friends, most underlying understanding. And this is just a phenomena. There is no place for I versus you. So understand the whole thing as a just phenomenon. There is no cause and effect. Like the example I have been repeating again and again. The expression of electrical energy through the bulb as a light is a phenomena. And therefore, when one bulb fuses, nothing happens, either to the electricity or the expression of that electrical energy as light through other bulbs. It continues in the same manner. Consciousness is expressing through every body as mind, and the mind thereby enlivens the body, which comes into life. And as long as the body has the capacity to express consciousness as mind, the body remains alive. The moment this capacity in the body goes away, the body falls dead. And when the body falls dead, nothing happens to the consciousness or to the mind. Now this is just a phenomena. In this, there is no place for individuality. wise people live with this understanding that this whole world is nothing but the sport of the Lord. In this expression of electrical energy, there are some bulbs which are very powerful. There are some bulbs which are less powerful. There are some bulbs which are working only inside the computer. But the principle remains the same. In the same manner, the same consciousness expressing whether the human being, animal, insects, plants is one and the same. See? When many times people are in coma, they are not dead. They are in coma. Now what happens in coma? Consciousness is able to express as mind, therefore the body is still living. All the functions are going on. You keep on feeding it, it is still alive. But that mind is not expressed to that extent to create a personality. And therefore, life is there, but there is no body. No, this is just a phenomena. In the same manner, our life is just a phenomena. In this, there is no place for I versus you. See? Like expression of mind through the eyes is a phenomena. Expression of mind through the ears as a hearing ability is a phenomena. It is common. And because of the mind expressing through different gadgets in a different manner, because of that, the mind does not become many. It is one. In the same manner, that one consciousness expressing through the different bodies as mind and thereby enlivening. When this phenomena is taken as a phenomena, it is the sport of the Lord. It is fun. In that there is neither joy nor sorrow. The joy that we experience or understand is only hysteria, a tickling, an eczema itch. You know eczema itch? Translate in German. Understood? So when we have got eczema itch, so what a joy it is to go on scratching. Others feel disgusted. Hey, stop that. It's bleeding. Brahmanandam paramasukhadam kevalam icharupam. The happiness that we imagine in this world is nothing but the eczema at our senses, at our skin level. The real bliss is that which can never be disturbed. What we experience is the earlier condition of the blisters, not the bliss. Because we are misters. So you get blisters. Living in this understanding is understanding life in its entirety. We have not said understanding our life. In life there is nothing like ours and yours. It's the same life. This is what is the purpose of all our spiritual practice. If this we practice sincerely, then all our moodiness will disappear. All our frustration will disappear. and we can never be thereafter attracted in the world. We may just be for some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. You can't continue longer. There is a kind of inner suction. You are pulled within. You are pulled within. In case of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, this is to happen to him. Anything that he sees, he is to go into a trance and get lost. So, his disciples used to keep Rasgulla, one of the sweets, nearby him. The moment he is going into that, they used to put the Rasgulla in his mouth. And then he'll come to the normal level. It was good. And again he sees something and again he gets into the truth. Because now the energy is no more extrovert. There is nothing like bad energy, bad vibration, good vibration. There is no vibration, there is nothing like that. You are that energy, go within. When it is going within, it is in the right direction. When it is going outside, it is going in the wrong direction. Therefore, with all this understanding, let us pray to the Lord. Asatoma Sadgamaya, O Lord, take me from the unreal to reality. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, O Lord, take me from the darkness of ignorance to the light of wisdom. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, kindly take me from the mortality, the relative existence, to the immortality, to the absolute, the bliss. So when we are thus in our actions, divinity is the goal. In our thoughts, divinity is the goal. In our prayers to the Lord, seeking the truth alone is. In our meditation, the truth alone is sought. In our understanding, we disappear and the truth alone remains. See, even without our telling that now we will sit for meditation, close your eyes, without that things happen. Because whether your eyes are open or closed, whether you are sitting in posture A, posture B, it makes no difference. Because now the truth is touched, in which all efforts dissolve. This effortless, choiceless existence is the truth. With this, we will conclude our Understanding Life Through Meditation series. After this, we will have our Japa Sadhana, the last session. And in the afternoon, if you all want, we may have question answers. You may write down your questions and give it to me here. If I know the replies, I'll talk to you. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।